put on this computer. Okay. We are now recording. Welcome. So, any questions from yesterday? Let me start there. How are we all doing with figuring out what to post, when to post, who to talk to, what our ideal audience is, any of that stuff? Any questions?
Well, the when to post is like what time of day? You know, how would you know what would be best?
And that's a very good question. And one of the best answers to that is marketing is an inexact science. So you sort of have to know when your audience is most likely to be awake and available. So if your audience is primarily in Africa, posting at 8 o'clock in the morning in the United States is probably not the best time. And that's an extreme example. But the best way, the honest to God, I mean, there's really no clever way to know the answer to that other than try it and see what the results are. When do you get the best results? Or when are you out of bed? I mean, I run on PST, California time. So like, Coffee with Len goes up about, right now, Coffee with Len goes up when the sun comes up, basically. So that time moves around as the sun moves around. So I don't have a really clever answer for that question. And quite honestly, I've never heard a really good one either. It's, experiment and see what seems to work best for you.
Okay, thank you.
So, Tim, your finger is waving.
Yeah, I just want to know if I could jump in on that you were just talking about.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
it's $1 per jump.
Okay. Oh, well, there you go. I don't think there's really, I think the time you post is kind of dependent on you and your schedule, because most people will scroll through, and there's people all over the world in different time zones. And if you just assume that most people work 9 to 5, so, don't put it like real early in the morning or something like that, but maybe just before, like I do my morning one before I get on my work. And I normally just post a story. I'll take a picture of the sunrise, or I love to put a Bible verse, and that's how I open my day. I'll post a story of a Bible verse of the day. And lately I've just been doing that. And then throughout the day, I work till 5, and I like to go live. So my evening things I'm doing, I'll go live at 8 o'clock, and then that's it. And then you kind of, when you're just hanging out, I'll check and see the engagement or stuff, or I think I need to add a time to check engagement and specifically answer stuff. But if I'm not doing nothing, I see people engaging, I'll try to start conversations. Because, I think it's pretty much a 24/7 thing. It's worldwide, it's global. Exactly. So I think posting when you feel is good for you. And don't think you got to be on there. I've been doing this now consistently since I met Len for like 2 years straight. And I used to, think, I got to do 10 posts a day. Like people tell you 10 posts a day in groups, and all you're going to do is get 10 disappointments when nobody answers it or looks at it. And then I've heard, 20 people spend 12 hours a day online. And when you're trying to work full time, I work full time. So it puts a lot of pressure on you, I think. So if you go, okay, I just want to do even just one. If you listen to Stacy, she does say that too. One good post a day. Put some thought into it, and then check, periodically, see what type of response you get. And then I don't know if you've talked to Elaine about something like that. Maybe that's next week, probably. I think that's a different training, but.
What's that, Tim? You dropped out just for a moment.
The boosting. You haven't talked about boosting.
Oh
no. That's more into next week, which you're probably going to do.
Yeah, posting for profits next week.
Yeah. Well, I was just watching Stacy's video. It's like, and I know I've heard her say, one good post. Diane Hockman, one good post a day to, get engagement and stuff, and don't freak out thinking you got to be online all day, because it actually, you get overloaded.
I think
Yeah.
Stacy's suggestion is 1 or 2 posts a day.
Yeah.
She-
No more than
she-
3, I've heard. I
Yeah.
heard no more than 3.
Yeah.
I do 1 on my I do 2 on my profile, and then throughout the day I do stories, because you can get away with a lot of stories.
Right,
And then in a group, I got 2 main groups. I might put 1 in my group, and I just leave it, because when you post in a group, it doesn't like count on your profile, on your timeline. So
Right,
you
it
can do as
doesn't.
many group posts as you want. Yeah.
yep. The group posts don't go into your news feed.
Yeah. So the algorithm's not going to say, hey, you're not going to jump on your posts, like they say.
Right.
And you just spread them out, like do 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. Put like 5-6 hours between them.
And,
Do
and as
live.
you,
I love to go live.
and as you say, you can do stories. You can do a lot more stories. If you're into doing stories,
Yeah.
you can do 8, 10 stories a day. But I'm not into doing stories. I'm lucky I remember to do 1 or 2 a day.
I love doing my stories,
You do
especially if I
stories.
see a good meme.
Yep.
A good meme, or I'll take a pic. Most of my memes are pictures I've taken, and then you can add content to them, and emojis and all that. I love the stories.
So where do we find that, Tim?
The stories,
Yes.
they're on your, I don't know, Len can pull up a screen share. It's on your main timeline. It'll be right there in the beginning of your Facebook. And I primarily use Facebook. I don't know if I could share a screen or not. Here, kid, Len's gonna.
You can if I think I have to give you permission though.
Well, I got yours up. You can just use yours as an example.
Um, yeah, your news feed
Is all that.
at the top of the news feed. We get to the top.
That'd
of
be
the
the rainbow. That's cute.
news.
Those are your stories right there. Those pictures right
Right.
there are stories.
Oh, okay.
This is Len's where he
I've
create,
seen
and then
those
there's
on my
Len's-
page, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and then that's where you create, and then that's your story. And this is like everybody else, because if you put 1 after it's done, it'll feed into this guy's and this guy's and this guy's. What I like to do is I take 5 pictures and I make a storyline with 1 piece of wording on each picture, so that they have to, if they get interested, they got to follow it through, Little teaser like, what am I going to eat? And then, weird shit like that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's fun too. I enjoy it. I get really motivated sometimes in my stories.
So if you've never done stories, Judy, just play with it as Stacy says, play, explore, discover.
Okay.
So right there, you'll have a little button that says create a story.
Okay. On my page.
Yeah,
I have to.
and you can either create a text story or you can create a photo story. So if you want to create a text story, just click on that and start typing. So here's where you're gonna type and and da 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 da, whatever you want to say. When you're all done, you can click share the story. And that's all you have to do. And I'm gonna discard that.
I'm looking at my page on my phone, and it says add story. That's
Yes,
where I do it.
that's it. Then they're easier to do on a phone. I prefer to use my phone.
Mhm.
Are they easier to do on a phone?
Yes, I find it, because you have access to your camera right there, and if you don't have your gallery, and you can take your gallery and share them to your stories, and then you can add content, you can add text,
Mm-hmm.
pictures, and all. They're way more easier. A lot of stuff is easier that I find from the phone.
You're right. You're right. The fact that you have your photo gallery on the phone makes it pretty easy. I usually send my photos over to the computer if I need to, and then I use them from there. So Okay. So today, video four. Video four. Stacy starts video four with asking people if they have any prosperity blocks. And she makes the point, she makes the observation that if I say I can't imagine making that kind of money, or I can't imagine having that kind of prosperity, or I can't imagine having that kind of wealth, then you'll never attract it. The reality is, let me come off I'm still on screen share. The reality is the mind is a very powerful thing. And if you say, I can't imagine being wealthy, then your mind says, okay, we can't imagine that. We're all done. We're gonna do something else.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. So, it's absolutely essential that if you take a look inside your own psyche and ask yourself, do I have money blocks? Do I have anything that's blocking my prosperity? It could be something coming from childhood, the old childhood. No, you can't. We don't do things like that. People with money have done something weird to get it. I mean, I heard that all the time as a child. Hey, the guy down the street that has more money than us, well, they must have done something weird to get that extra money, or something a little shady. Because most normal folks like us, this is my grandmother talking now, normal folks like us, we don't have that kind of money. We had to do something shady to get it. Of course, the reality is that my grandmother and my mother, they didn't understand money. They really knew nothing about it. Easy come, easy go was the philosophy. And if you ask my mother for anything, the answer was no, we can't afford it. I mean, that was the first words out of her mouth. And so, I grew up with all of those money blocks. And if you still, and I still struggle with them. I'm not gonna BS you. So if you're struggling with any money blocks, you got to work on that. And there are ways. And Stacy does a lot of teaching about money blocks. Now, in today's video, she was also, video 4 was actually coming a day or two before a Wednesday night webinar in which she was actually doing money blocks on the webinar. So she talked about money blocks and was advertising the webinar for the next day. So anyhow, okay. Let's see, what else did she talk about today? Anybody?
She talked about where to find people. I mean, not like groups and stuff, but platforms. She mentioned different platforms and how, like, everybody knows who, God, I can't remember his name now. Gary Vaynerchuk, y'all heard of him?
Yes.
Vaguely.
Yeah, how he says be everywhere. But like she says, he's got a staff of probably 50 to 100 people. Even though he says he writes all his own stuff, I don't really believe him no more. And I haven't seen him on in a long time, but she talked about the different platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Don't get on every one. You're going to get overwhelmed. And when I was listening to her do that, I did want to let y'all know there's a little app I found called, God, what was it called? Trello? Not Trello. I'll have to see in my phone, but it's an app that lets you make one post and then it goes to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But right now, I would just, if you're on Facebook, just stay there, because the other thing, because you can still share it in your page, your profile, you can put it, in groups, you can put it in your stories. Don't worry about being everywhere, because I think people I don't think they get sick of you. Do you think, Len? They might get tired if you're talking the same stuff all the time, but.
Well, this is another interesting question. Diane Hockman also, if you go back to some of Diane Hockman's training over the last couple of years, she's talked quite a bit about being omnipresent, being everywhere, being on Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest, blah, blah, blah. The challenge with that, the challenge with that is that for most of us mere mortals, and especially for people who are beginning in this business, you simply don't have the time to be on multiple platforms. You can't do it.
Exactly.
If you try to be on, I'm going to say maximum of 2 platforms. If you try to be on more than 2 platforms and do a good job, you're spread too thin. You're not going to do a good job of anything. So unless and the MLSP philosophy and recommendation has always been to pick a platform, pick one: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, YouTube, whatever you want to do, and stick with it until you're having success and build that platform. And once you have that working, then consider expanding yourself. And that, and to be quite honest with you, and over the years, that's been one of my complaints about MLSP, is with these Wednesday night webinars, almost every Wednesday, and that this hasn't been true recently, and I think they backed off because they figured it out. But almost every Wednesday there was a different platform. There was YouTube one week, and then the next week it was Pinterest, and the next week it was and on, and they confused everybody, because they were, one message was get on one platform, make it work, and the other message was here's the next wonderful platform that you can be on, and if you're not on it, then you're losing money. Well, people who are just starting out in the business, they simply can't do that. They have to pick one. End of rant.
Well, and I think that you can spread yourself too thin.
Right, exactly.
And I do know at one time you taught, I don't know when, a couple of years ago, how you can make a YouTube video, and then you can write the text and you can put it as a Facebook post, and then with the picture or something, you can put it on Instagram. So you're not repeating yourself 100 times, and that is valuable. That is very valuable.
Well, and I still teach that, and it's something that I actually do daily. Now, I've changed the strategy a little bit over the last couple of years, because when I first taught that, and I know what you're referring to, when I first taught it, at that time, Facebook Live didn't exist, or it was awkward to use,
Okay.
and it wasn't so easy. Now the direction I go, the direction Coffee with Len, I write a short little description, then I click go live, and I put the short little description in, and I film the video. Then I take that video and I upload it to YouTube, and I drop the short description in. Then I take that video and I upload it to LinkedIn, and I drop the short description in. And that's what I do basically every day. Now, once I've made the video, it takes just a couple of minutes to upload it to YouTube, and another couple of minutes to upload it to LinkedIn. It takes very little extra time. I also, in the middle of all that, and I did leave one step out, in the middle of all that, I usually go to Canva and make a YouTube thumbnail, so that when I put the video on YouTube, I've got a thumbnail there for it. Hi, Carolee.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
There's no late, there's no sorry.
What's a thumbnail?
Picture,
Okay.
little picture. Every YouTube video has a thumbnail. You just either make one yourself, or they pick one out of the video for you. And they always pick one that makes you look like, never mind,
Weird.
makes you look like.
You want one that makes you look more appealing than the half shot where
Well,
they. Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't. It's not. Oh,
You can
stop
take-
it.
You can make your own thumbnail too by taking your picture, your own picture, and putting it in.
Right, you can do that. But if you look at, So, I mean, this picture is a thumbnail. This happens to be today's video. That was yesterday's. That was, or some other day. I don't know. And if you don't make your own thumbnail, then here's one where I didn't make one, and they just picked a frame out of the video and put it up. So that all makes sense.
Mhm.
And I use Canva to make the thumbnails. So, and if anybody doesn't know how to use Canva, Canva's pretty easy to use. Okay, so we were talking, Stacy was talking quite a bit. Now, you know what? The video, what I realized today is the videos, most of us are watching videos that are in the MLSP VIP group. Okay. Couple of us are watching videos that are over in MLSP because they don't have access to the VIP group. And those videos are different. So they're not exactly the same. Also, if you're looking at the videos in the MLSP VIP group, you might have noticed that video 5 is missing. Has anybody noticed that yet?
It's there today.
Is video 5 there? Well, let's take a look. I hope you're right. I sent a message to Stacy, and then I sent a message to support and told them that video 5 was missing. And I did get an answer back from support that they were going to there we go. Oh, it's okay, Facebook. You can Facebook. Hello, Facebook.
You getting ready to freeze?
Oh God.
Hiding.
I don't know. I could be. It can happen. But also Facebook is, this new Facebook seems to be very sluggish sometimes. Okay. There it is. You're right. It's up. Cool. Because I actually got a response back from support a couple hours ago today saying they were going to, it was sort of a, oops, we're going to message the video team and tell them to load the video. So good. So that's something I don't have to worry about today. Video 5 is up already. So cool. But one of the other things that Stacy pointed out today is that a lot of people get themselves into way too many groups. If you're going to work this strategy seriously, you need to be in a rather small number of groups. She suggests today getting started 1 or 2 groups. Now, I'm actually in about 3 or 4, maybe 5 groups right now, but I'm not using, one day I go in one group, the next day I go in a different group. I'm going back and forth. And the reason is I'm experimenting to see which group seems to be the most responsive. But you don't want to be in a lot of different groups, and you don't want to be in the spam groups. Does everybody know what I mean by the spam groups?
No. No, what's a spam group?
The spam groups.
Yeah.
Tim, TJ, you got a good example of a spam group?
Well, like if you go into Facebook and you go into groups and you type in network marketing, you're going to have 50 million groups pop up, network marketing world, universe, all this. And if you go into them, the first thing you're going to see is their ads, their company, their business. And then if you try to write a post in there and you get any responses, they jump on them people and they'll throw their crap to your responses and stuff. You get overwhelmed. The only way you can stand out in a spam group is to basically Don't even try to compete posting, but go into their comments. And where somebody says, well, I did this, call them on it. When they say, I made $1,200 in 24 hours. Go in there and comment on it and say, really? Show me. Because if you respond to anyone in there, you're going to get 500 emails from all these different people with links. They're just going to throw links at you. It's really frustrating. I like to equate it to Jurassic Park 3, the one where the guy gets eaten by the little dinosaurs, where there's one and he knocks it away, then there's two and he knocks it away, and the next thing you know, there's 10,000. That's how a spam group is. They're gonna maul you, and you're gonna get all
So here's the Facebook search bar. And I'm just gonna do what Tim suggested. Now, Jesus, thing's running slow. Network. I actually typed the word network. Marketing. There we go, network marketing.
It's frozen. Oh.
It's not frozen. It's just running excruciatingly slow. Let me just turn off some stuff and see if that helps it along.
that's 51 million in market share.
I want groups. So we're searching for network marketing groups.
And I've run across groups where, post your business here. Well, if everybody's posting a business, there's nothing to attract somebody to want to purchase from you because they're all trying to sell something.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened here. Network marketing. Come on, you can do better than this.
It's your Mexican internet.
Yeah, it's really running slower than I've seen it in a long time. And if we
Oh,
Yeah.
we lost it.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll just stop the share. Okay. So first off, yes, if it's a group that says post your business opportunity here, you're in a spam group. And the reality is there are ways to use spam groups, and Stacy said she's going to talk about it tomorrow. So I'll wait to see what she has to say. I can tell you that Diane Hockman has taught using spam groups, and there are things you can do. And I can also tell you that if you go through the startup steps of MLSP, the first 10 steps, they do teach you to start posting in spam groups. But you also have to recognize that those 10 steps are designed for absolute pure beginners who have never done anything yet, and they're just getting you started and getting you posting. So they're not, so what you want to do is go find one or two really good groups that where you're likely to find your ideal audience. Now, is there anybody who sort of doesn't know how to find the groups that would potentially be your ideal audience?
Me.
Well, I'm also having difficulty because if I really pare it down instead of do a broad and pare it down, I'm in like hundreds of different groups. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of just focus on specific areas. And so what I decided to do is I've got my book that teaches about toxins, but they also focus on the backup system is the 4 basic products that help with the toxins, but they're, one helps with energy, the other helps with the probiotics. So what I've done is I've kind of gone backwards from the products to find out the solutions they offer, to find out the problems people have, so that I can figure out which groups to post to. Does that make sense?
In fact, it's exactly the right thing to do. You were initially focused on the products. This is my product,
Yeah.
and I got to go find people. No, I don't want to. You don't look for people that don't use the product. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? And so you're looking for people who have that problem. So Maggie, and I know you're very broad, but what's your overarching problem? What is,
My ability to focus.
absolutely true, and there are groups about that.
Um,
You know,
because
and I'm going to come back to you, Judy.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm having a hard time focusing on, oh, your,
It's okay. It's
All right.
okay. I'm trying to get back to Facebook.
yeah, I'm having a hard time focusing and like, okay, so if I go by the product, yes, the one is energy and weight loss. It helps with depression, all those symptoms. But the way Stacy was talking is separate those into 5 days. Well, if I do that, then I don't have anything for the other things that I'm doing. So I thought that if each week I cover certain things, that particular one on my posting would, the problem, different problems for that particular supplement,
Right. If you follow Stacy's pattern, you could have 7 sub problems that you're addressing, and you could address one each day. So that's one way to do it. But your overarching problem or problem that you're addressing is healthy living.
Yes.
Now that may in and of itself, that may be a little bit too broad. I don't know. But if I type in healthy living and I tell it to search for it, what am I going to come up with?
Oh,
And I want
diet and exercise and weight loss and
and I want groups. So I do want groups. By the way, make note, everybody, Judy especially, make note. If you don't click on groups, you're going to get a lot of stuff.
Click on what?
Groups.
Oh, groups,
Yeah,
okay.
you're going to get a lot of stuff that's not. So, one thing to do is to just take a look at groups. Well, the Modeer Healthy Living Community is not where you want to be because you're not in Modeer. But here's Healthy Living. That's only 1,400 members. That's a pretty small group. Here's Healthy Living, 11,000 members. Here's 90,000 members, Healthy Food. Conscious and Healthy Living, 12,000 members. So you might just want to take a look in a couple of these groups and see if one of the groups doesn't resonate with you for a place to begin, so that you're not spread out over hundreds of groups.
And then my other thing is a lot of, no offense, other people have joined these groups with the intentions of developing relationships and trying to sell their product. And many of them already have something that they think is better, they're not open. Does that make sense? So it's
You're gonna find that no matter where you go on the internet. That's okay. That's okay. Because remember again, if you and I are in the same groups, even if we're selling the same product, I'm going to attract a different audience than you're going to attract. So the idea that there may be somebody else in a group that's selling similar products, that's a scarcity mentality. And quite honestly, I mean, if you were in Modeer, if you go into this group, you say, well, they're selling Modeer. Well, that wouldn't be a good group for you to be into. But quite honestly, if you go into one of these groups and you do find out that it's sort of overwhelmed with somebody else selling ABC, and it could be because sometimes these groups are founded by someone who's building their own audience. So yeah, then you get out of that group and go to a different one.
Or other people have joined with the specific intention, like I said, is to build relations.
Yeah.
And it's not just, that's why I thought, well, I don't know if I really want to get it. And some of them are so specific, like, it's like food or.
Well, just pick the ones that aren't. Natural health and wellness, mind, body, and soul. I like that. 27,000 members. There's a potentially good group. Foods and healthy lifestyle, 51,000 members. You know, you got to look through some of the stuff and find you can find groups. I think you'll find groups. I mean, we can probably keep going down this. I mean, look at the number of groups here. You only need one good group. That making sense? Are you agreeing with me or disagreeing with me?
I said, yep.
Yes,
So Judy,
yes,
you love to dance.
yes. Can't do that right now in New Mexico,
Well, that's okay.
except in my own house. And I did that today.
Okay, that's all right. But let's look at groups about dancing. Ecstatic dance Baja. Well, that's probably, I don't know what that is.
That's for you.
Exotic dance. Is exotic dance, is that nude? Maybe I should check that out. Dance accepts everyone. Dance videos all the time. Country dancing. Now, country dancing. You like country dancing. 17.
That's my least favorite, but yeah.
Pardon me?
So that's like my least favorite, but yeah, I do.
Okay.
more.
Well, then
I
don't
live in
do
Mexico,
that.
I do Latin.
Look for single men and women dating a site in Zambia. That's probably a little far away. Free virtual Zumba dance and fitness classes, 14,000 members. Interesting. Just look through these and find a group that sounds interesting, and then go ahead and join the group and check it out. And you can find out, was that pole dancing? Yeah, that's probably not your
Yeah.
style.
I have a friend that has a pole dancing class.
Uh-huh. Well, belly dancing, 11,000
Haven't taken it.
people. Dance workshops. Oh, dance workshops, 179,000 members. Wow. There's something. Now, I'm not saying it's a good group for you. I don't know. The only way to find out is to go join the group. So let's go out here. Let's see.
90 posts a day.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What did you say? Where'd you see that?
Before you clicked on it,
Oh.
underneath it said 90 posts a
Oh,
day.
yeah. Okay. So it's a private group. It's visible. It's general. It's been around for several years. 2011. There's 179,000 members. One new post a day. So this might be, if I were you, this might be a group that I would join and just see what it is. And if it doesn't work, if it's not the right group, then go try a different group. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's just a place to start. But all you need is to find one or two groups that, okay, Facebook, come on, you can do this. There you go. All you need to do is find one or two groups that go in the direction you want to go in. And then you begin to meet people. Now, once again, we're changing the paradigm here because almost everybody has this. I have a product. I'm going to go find somebody for my product. No, I have a problem. I want to find people that have the same problem that I can help them solve, that my product helps with. Now, Judy, you don't have a product right now. I don't
Oh.
think.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
As a
Good.
matter of fact, I have two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, one is you're familiar with in the health and wellness. That's how I met you to start with. And then the other is a NASA technology that I am just learning about.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't remember the one that you found me with, so, I mean,
Starts with an I.
you're giving me more credit than I deserve. So anyhow, so find a couple of groups, go join a couple of groups. And that's basically the day 4. And then tomorrow, she promises to talk about how to initiate conversations with people in groups and bring them over to you. That's tomorrow's training.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
questions, anybody?
Okay, maybe instead of just healthy living, how about women supporting each other in a healthy lifestyle, for wellness, like,
Sure.
instead of, so that there's going to be other people that got health issues or whatever, and people are going to be commenting and yeah, that would be, you kind of get what I'm saying, not so much, yeah.
So women,
I don't want to say women with health issues, but
Yeah.
declining health issues, I don't want to say
How about
well, why not? Why not? Why not?
anti-aging?
Let's try something. Why not women struggling with health?
health. Yeah, okay, that would
Just
be
for,
good.
just for giggles. Listen, we're just explore, discover, play, explore, discover. Just, you can't hurt anything by trying and looking and seeing what's out there. Again, Women's Health Conversation Group, Women's Depression and Anxiety Support, Women's Health, Mental Health Support. It's only 48 members. 8,000 members, Unstoppable Health. That's a little, well, that's a specific doctor. So most of these, I'm just seeing 9,000 members. Oh, that's India. Okay. Many of these are small groups. Oh, women with MS, 24,000 members. I don't know if that's applicable or not. So
I think,
Women's health and fitness.
I think I can find something if I kind of do it that way.
Health, Fitness, and Weight Loss USA, new 2,200, 34,000 members. If you're interested in the physical well-being of
gosh.
yourself and others, then you're blah blah blah. 1,300 posts a day,
1.3 K.
huh?
It's 1.3 K a day.
That's 1,300,
Okay.
1,300.
Your
A
math.
lot of posts. You're gonna get lost in there, right?
That's a lot of posts. But you know what? If it's a relatively new group, I don't know. Well,
Yeah, no, I-
there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Go check out the group. Public, visible. It's in Miami. Well, I don't know what that has to do with Price City in China, but you can see what new activity. Now this is product specific, but so this could be.
I think it's more of a spam one.
It could be a spam group. I don't know. This is one that's hard to call. I'd have to probably just join the group and go see what's going on in there. And then if you don't like what's going on, you can always cancel. No harm, no foul. And so now the other thing that I will point out, I'm going to stop and share. The other thing that I will point out to you is one of the things that Stacy discussed near the very end, and maybe in that last 5 minutes, TJ, I don't know. When you do join a new group, go introduce yourself to the admins. Find out who the admins are and send the admins a private message and say, hey, I'm new to the group. I just joined. Thank you for creating this group. It looks like a wonderful group to me. Just thank the admins and let them know who you are and make a friend of the admins. That way, if you do screw up at the beginning, post something you're not supposed to do, violate one of the rules, do something, you're less likely to get booted out of the group. You're more likely to get a message from the admin that says, hey, that was a no-no, don't do that again. Now, on the other hand, if the best groups are groups that have strict rules about posting products. If the group says no product posts, 0 tolerance, that's a good group. Because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for groups that are focused on the issues, not focused on painting up billboards and trying to sell something. The selling comes later. It making sense?
Yeah.
Judy,
Yes.
okay. How you doing over there, Rob?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
When I read the thing way back, it said it's all for women. Network marketing's all for women. Are we outnumbered here?
Yes, you are.
It's pretty much dominated by women. Yeah.
I hear it's
Amazingly enough, yeah. I forget what the statistics are, but a lot of
Yeah.
top producers are women.
It could
the
be
ladies
that,
are-
it could be that more women are at home with the kids and they have a little bit of time there, here and there. But supposedly women are supposed to be more conversational than men.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
I
right.
agree.
They're more social. And
Yeah.
I think also, to be honest with you, I think they're also less threatening.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Mhm.
You know, men are, let's just say they can be forceful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that women can't be, mind you, but
Yeah.
Some are more than others.
Exactly.
so I do think that in this game, women have an advantage. Okay. We okay for today, folks?
Yeah.
Thanks, Len.
Thank
you.
you so much.
Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Nice to
Alrighty,
meet you, Robert.
thanks.
All right, take care. Bye for now.
Bye.